Hi everyone, today we have Mama Lynn Chittick as a special guest on the Azza Sofa View show inspired by Rehan Alawala. She's an amazing lady and I would love to request her to introduce herself to our show. Please, Mama Lynn Chittick, introduce yourself please.
Thank you. I'm here today with you as a moment of time, and it's only in this moment that we have. This beautiful young man, Abbas, joined us on Earth Day, and we have another event today in about an hour, 3 to 5. Today we're focused on Arbor Day, and that's a group of us that are taking actions of impact. I'm the founder of Torch, the organization for realizing change in humanity. And we've been broadcasting for Earth Day for 48 hours this week, and we decided a lot of us wanted to go back and really touch base. I come through a platform of my sons through Renewable Dream Teams, and it's going to be really fun, so I hope you join us. But I'm a mom, first and most. I'm a mother of 5 children, 6 grandchildren. And my level of relationships are rich and connected and loving and kind. And I'm eternally grateful for Abbas for having me come on. And thank you for this time. My daughter is here doing American Girl. So yeah, Abbas, I can't hear you. Are you there? There you go. Just stay on with me. There we are.
Sure. Thank you so much for your introduction and such a beautiful introduction. And as we know that you cared so much for the humanity and for the betterment of the world. Is it possible for let me call my daughter Nabaha, इधर आइए, मामा लिन से बात कीजिए. आइए जल्दी आइए, बुला रहे हैं आपको. आ जाइए, वो प्यार कर रहे हैं आपको. जल्दी आइए, इधर आइए. Okay.
Hi, sweet baby.
But she's so shy, you know. She just doesn't want to come.
That's okay. We'll meet her another time.
Yeah, sure. But I was really eager to let her meet you. Anyways, so please let us know about the organization and Torch project. Because so many people know about it, but some people don't know about it. So how does it work? How do you manage everything? So many people around the world, and what is the purpose basically?
Peace. The dream is about one peaceful world. Hello, baby. Come say hi to Mama Lynn. Hi.
Mama Lynn hai, dekhiye.
Hi, baby.
Say hi.
Mwah, mwah. Nice to see you. Hi, sweetie. Hi. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Yeah, wa alaikum salam. Happy Ramadan to you.
Boliye, happy Ramadan, boliye. Khade hoiye.
Happy Ramadan.
Nice to see you.
Okay.
Nice to see you.
You can hear? Okay.
Okay. I can't hear you. Abbas, I can't hear you. What a beautiful daughter. You're just muted. You're muted. There you go.
Okay, you can hear me now, ma'am?
I can.
Yes.
What a beautiful daughter.
देखिए वो क्या कह रही हैं आपके लिए.
Beautiful girl. Hi, beautiful one. You have a beautiful papa. You have a beautiful daddy. Abba. You give peace all the time. God bless you.
Thank you so much. I wanted you to see her and give her your blessings.
Thank you.
As you are Mama Lynn.
I love children.
Mama Lynn.
I love children.
Okay. So, can you tell me about the Torch project?
Sure.
How does it work?
How does it work?
Yeah, because
it works by the great universe that we are.
Yeah,
The
wow.
unifying principle is what I teach. I've been teaching for many, many years in the natural food movement. The torch came out of many years of culmination of my work. It came out of a theology degree, a master's degree. Really from working with the homeless and working with the people in need. I had been working with people in need for years and generations, but I also worked with college students. So the Torch Foundation really took off, 30 years ago. But ideally, we took in homeless single moms since 1990 to 2010 in my home. So I took care of cancer patients and developed relationships with them. And out of that came my love of care for humanity in so many ways. But it's really my children that taught me, right? It comes from my children, because our children teach us everything. Our children teach us. I can't hear you again. I'm so sorry. I can't hear you,
Yes,
Abbas.
I was telling my daughter not to shout because I can't hear Mama Lynn properly, but actually I was hearing you. But
Okay,
I'm
good.
trying to
Okay, good. No
train
worries.
her.
Yeah, you were being
I'm
respectful.
trying
Thank you.
to
I respect that.
and I'm trying to train her because she's smaller now, so she knows the values that when somebody's talking, she shouldn't sing a song or poem or
No worries.
whatever.
Children are very adaptable,
Yeah.
and I think we as
Some
adults need to be just as adaptable.
Very
So,
true, very true, very true. I
yeah.
really like the concept which West people from the West side when they talk online, they're so relaxed, they're so free. Kids are coming, going, they don't mind. But in Pakistan, India, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, people like me, brown people, and with respect, we are so stubborn. Like my daughter will come, or my mom or my wife will come. I will get like I'm talking about myself. Why it's like that? Now we should be trained and we should adjust. Like the female in Pakistan and India, they're so multitasking. In one lap they have a kid, in another hand they have a mobile, in maybe they have three hands, they're doing the dishes also, cooking. But man in our eastern areas, they're very stubborn. They don't adjust. I'm also like that. I'm trying to be trained by the people like Rehan Bhai, you, and so many else. Aliki Koji, Carla Ji, Mr. Michael Sillon, Mr. Our Senator Mia Atiq Sahab, who got also trained by Mr. Rehan Alawala for the digitalization, and he admits that and he respects that also, and he's a very kind senator. He always comes for the interview, unlike other political people. He's very humble, Mia Muhammad Atiq Sahab, our senator. I wanted to know something personal from you, like how was your childhood in the West Side? Do you miss it? Do you remember, or was it boring? Was it very entertaining and exciting?
I had a very rich childhood. I lived in New Hampshire, rich in the way of spirit. The gifts that I was given, my parents were very, very sweet to open us up to New Hampshire. My mom and dad both grew up in Maine, so we had a place in Maine as well. And in Maine, I grew up on the ocean, Penobscot Bay. And in Penobscot Bay, there's a beautiful island across the way called Turtle Island. And Turtle Island was my mystery of love, because it was about 3 miles across the bay. But in Bayside, Maine, a little tiny town in the coast of Maine, my grandparents owned an inn there. And my parents owned a cottage, and then they bought the chapel. It was the Bangor Chapel. So I actually grew up in the chapel in the summers all my life. So my spiritual path has been rich, I think, since birth. And it's been a beautiful gift. And I grew up as a very blessed child, I would say. And the gifts that my father brought were many experiences. And most of it was in nature. And so nature became my home and my heart. So I had horses, and I had gardens, and I had community, and I had a lot of connection with animals. So deepening my story goes into more personal, but I won't go there today. But I have deep personal stories of, the human life of any human family today. We go through different traumatic experiences, and those traumatic experiences grow us from the heart. And when we grow from the heart, we're able to sustain ourselves from a richer place. And I think when we start opening ourselves from the community outside of ourselves, we start learning more and more about ourselves. But it has to go from the inside out. And so the torch comes from that idea that you first have to have peace inside. You have to grow your inner peace. You have to grow that spiritual understanding of internal peace. Then when the wind comes and it's strong and it's chaotic around you, you return to your sturdiness. Practice will bring you there. Your spiritual practice brings you back to the center. The next part that's important is your environment. Your environment needs to be nurturing and kind and caring and loving. Some of us, as we go along, I was just sick for 5 weeks with the COVID and dealt with, a lot of home being disrupted. And I'm so grateful today because the candles got lit. Usually every Sunday I spend my day with candles lit all day because it's our sacred day, our sacred holiday as a Christian woman. I'm on my 3rd day of fast for Ramadan. So I've been fasting for Ramadan as well. And I'm developing a relationship to, create what I need to create to build my home back to equilibrium after the chaos, right? So we're always going expanding, contracting, expanding, contracting. So your life becomes like this. And if you can be familiar with that, the expansion and the contraction, this practical application to life becomes very simple to understand. So your environment sometimes becomes a mess, but then you put it back in order. Mess and order. This is a natural order of the plants, the trees, everything. So outside, the environment teaches us this for the seasons, right? The sun comes up and then it goes down. Sun comes up, it's a very expansive day, and then it goes down into the night. Okay? So your spiritual path is connected to the environment outside yourself as well as inside yourself. Your organs are the same, so I'll go into health. The 4 pillars, peace, health, environment, and technology. I'm moving into health now. I became a practitioner at a young age. I was doing a lot of healing and helping a lot of people through natural foods. And through that work, I was richly embedded into doctors, nurses, all different forms of medicine, alternative, and all existential, including indigenous ways of healing, indigenous ways of understanding, spiritual ways of healing. So I believe health comes from many, many forms. So we're building a platform with that. But I'll just talk about myself right now. Healing and health, there's never any perfect health. You're never perfectly healthy. But going towards health is really important. So I really recommend for myself to eat really in a natural way. You can stay on, Abbas. It's really fine. I'd love to have you stay on. Then you're not coming back and forth. And it's really nice to have you just here with me. Then I'm talking to someone. Okay? Otherwise, I'm seeing the screen. So as we open ourselves to health, there's many areas to health that are supportive. And so I've been a teacher of that for many, many years and helping many people from all over. I've taken in cancer patients into my home. I've taken in homeless people from 1990 to 2010. I had an organic food business, so I'd put people to work and help them understand business. Then they could build their own business and have their own entrepreneurship. I helped people with understanding how to bring many students of mine came from college students at UC Berkeley, from different areas all around the country. I trained 5 colleges. I trained Kripalu Yoga Center, and I was a head chef there at Kripalu Yoga Center. I was a head chef at the Sufi Abode. So I spent a summer with the Sufi community. I've spent many days with different communities in order to study and to understand other cultures, other frameworks. So health for me is this. The health becomes open and awake to other forms of ideas of health. When you come to technology, it brings us to here. We're grateful today because technology brings us all the way across the world. You're in Pakistan, I'm here, and this is the grace. So I have about 5 more minutes because we have a big show coming on, and I want to introduce you to Arbor Day. Arbor Day is many, many years ago, I think it's 1872. But this idea of Arbor Day is so precious to me because when I was a school child in my school, I love this day. I had a very deep, distinct memory of Arbor Day. And it was the day of planting trees. And it was the day that every year we planted a tree in our schoolyard. And it's going around the world. And so our mission with 2020 or Bust, which is the organization we co-partnered with for Earth Day, we co-partnered with a lot of collaborations. Their goal is 100,000 trees by May 31st. And when I looked at Arbor Day from way back when, their goal was 1 million trees. And so I really want to say 1 million trees need to get planted, you know. And I'm very excited to have this show today. I'm very excited to focus on Arbor Day with 2020 or Bust team. They're very exciting. They're very special. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you. I took Hebrew, so I want to say Allah. I should know these letters, but once I step back in and learn them again, thank you so much for the Hebrew letters. But I think people from all over the world have been excited to, you know, really get connected. So Torch is grown organically. It's not some business plan. There's no business plan to Torch. And I kind of don't want one. People on the top side want me to make a business. People on the bottom side of all the people want me to make a business plan. But you can let things grow organically, and then it's a much more natural way, right? It's a much more sustainable way. If I force my way into making a business plan and thinking structure is important, sometimes it will fall apart. But the organic flow of these shows and, you know, the work upon the world, I was already very culturally connected. But when I met Rehan, he introduced me to the Pakistan community, and Pakistan and I have become very close. I call Pakistan kind of a second home, but when I went to Japan, that was a second home. When I went to Scotland, it was a second home. So it's the land that you become part of. It's the earth that you become part of. It's the wellness within the earth that you become part of. It's that essence that you eat the food of the land and you become part of the land. There was a very wonderful teacher, Michio and Evelyn Kushi, and they founded the first natural food store in America. And I studied with them, and Michio used to say that, you know, the African Americans were brought here as slaves, but now everyone is becoming black and white, you know, kind of different colors all over the world. And this is because of land change, you know. Native Americans and the traditional culture. I'm actually from the Delaware Nation, a very small part of myself, but I'm very aligned with them because I worked with the council for 10 years. So I'm a pipe carrier in my peace tradition. So Torch is really about the dream of one peaceful world. And how do we get there? So we've got peace ambassadors, we've got health ambassadors, we've got environment ambassadors, we've got tech ambassadors. Out of those 4 pillars, people pick a passion. And I believe when we work together, we've got an ability to change this world. And right now with COVID, I would like to leave us with a prayer. And really look, Torch means the organization for realizing change in humanity. I am a theologian myself. I have a master's in theology. I'm finishing in 4 weeks with a Master of Divinity with a certification in spirituality. And what does that mean? Not much. It just means that I've practiced more. You know, I've practiced discipline to be going through another degree. I've practiced reading more and broadening my view. I've practiced developing focus to be able to finish, you know, papers and things on time, which I'm not very good at. I'm much more curious about you. I'm much more curious about the other person. I want to learn from the other person, and then I can learn more about what the world's about. And then I feel more comfortable in my skin. Academia has not been easy for me, but I've pushed myself through. I became a nurse first. I had developed a lot of cultural relationships. So my bachelor studies is in culture, and then my master's is in multicultural theology, which is really what I want to continue, the cultural relationships and how do we bridge peace on the planet so that your daughter and every child on this planet has the resources to grow. So our biggest program in Torch is Torch Seeds, and Torch Seeds has taken off tremendously. It's our year anniversary on Earth Day this year, and we just were donated land up in Chitral. We've got 50,000 children out of Sindh that are part of the Torch family, and it all started in Shaman on the Afghanistan border. And in Shaman, we worked with Raymond, and hopefully he'll be on this next show. So I'm hoping he'll join us. We want him to join us because he took my advice and he started growing heirloom seeds. So I ask you all to start looking at how you can be supportive to us. We are taking very serious measures now to build business and relationships to bring in income so we can run the programs that we want to run. And it's been a turning point for me, but my son got involved. And he's been working with 3 Pakistan friends now, and Torch Tech has become part of his bigger world. And he works with the 4 pillars, and we've employed 3 Pakistan friends that are making double than what they were making in Pakistan. But it's different. You know, my bills are much different. People think America is this great place, and it's just people, though. It's the humanity. And the human being in Pakistan is just as great as a human being here. So I always said to Pakistan when I was there, I lectured all over the country. I lectured in all universities. I lectured in Islamabad and Peshawar, and I lectured in Karachi and Lahore. And I met farmers in Choctaw and worked on the back end of, you know, how are the farmers doing? How are the farmers relating to each other? How are they growing? We are trying to get farmers to go without chemicals. So we need your support. We need your support in many, many layers to create systems of change. And one of the systems is big because it's Islamophobia, right? So we're in the middle of Ramadan. I'm a Christian woman, but I practice Ramadan in solidarity with my Islam brothers and sisters. In solidarity, then I can make a greater idea with myself to say, teach me, help me understand your tradition so I can become. I've practiced many traditions and Islam now for the last 3 years, but it started that relationship 10 years ago when in my theology school, because the GTU, the Graduate Theological Seminary, where I go to school, has 11 consortiums, and there's a Islam school called Zaytuna, and Zaytuna actually is in Berkeley, and Rayhan came to visit me, and this is the magic that happens. Rayhan stayed with me, we visited, and then he said, I want you to come to this dinner, and I said, great. So he takes me to a 10-year anniversary of this beautiful land called Zaytuna. I walk in, and there's the huge community of Pakistan Islam friends from all over the world. And I was able to reach that relationship. We're in 7 countries. We've got 4 pillars in Bangladesh. We have 4 pillars in Pakistan. We want 4 pillars and it to grow spirally so that every town comes with a local connection to a global mission. And I work a lot with the UN goals and sustainable development goals. And I'm part of Amar Jaffrey's team, SDG Academy in Pakistan. And we're growing that community. We're growing that community to be able to create. So thank you, Akbar. Thank you, Abbas. Any questions? I probably talked too long, but I probably have to go soon.
No, very beautiful, and all the details you have given to our audience as well. That's very important for them to know that what efforts you're doing and your people are doing, because there are so many misconceptions around the world. Thanks to the online system, that it enables us to know each other, to understand each other, because as my father used to say, 5 fingers are not equal. There are, means black sheeps are everywhere in the world, in my country, in your country, but good people are also there. So there is a balance by the nature, by the universe, by Allah actually. And thank you so much for giving us your time. I have a lot of time, but I know you're busy. You already told me before the interview it was very tough to grab you for the interview because you're into so many things. But you gave us your time, your precious time. We are all are thankful. And so many comments are there, but I don't have time to put them on the screen. So I apologize to all the guys and gals who have posted their comments, but there are so many comments. I only posted which were on the top. For me, it's easy for me to click and it will come, but so many are there at the bottom, and very nice comments are coming.
Thank you.
Anyways, thank you so very much. I wanted to talk to you more, but I know that Jazakallah, we don't have time. You don't have time.
Thank you, mashallah.
You don't have time.
Thank
I have
you.
actually.
We'll
So
meet
I'll
again.
let you.
We'll meet again.
Sure.
And
Thank
come
you
on
so
to
much.
the show. You can go to Actions of Impact.
Yeah. Actions of Impact. Okay.
Actions of Impact / Arbor Day. So let me
Let
write
me
it in the
just,
chat. Let me write it in the chat for you.
That is Mr. Rehan Alawala's thing. He's always writing it, so let me imitate him. Just let me know. I will write it and I will post it. Can you repeat it?
Yep,
Mama
I'm
Lynn?
putting it in the chat room right now for you.
Let me do that. You just
I've
say
got
I-
it right here in the
Oh,
chat.
okay.
So now you can find it in the chat and copy and paste.
All right. Yeah, got it. It's
So please join us. We're coming up on the hour of 3 o'clock, 3 to 5, and we'll be joining a team from New York City, 2020 or bust, and it's going to be a fun event, and we're going to
Excellent.
enjoy each other's company, and it'll be funny, and it'll be about Arbor Day and about trees, planting trees. So on Earth Day, we all made commitments to really stand for relationships. And relationships about action, and action is about the earth. And so you just took a great action, and I want to give you a comment because you saw me on live, and then you started going live, and you started connecting. And I just want to give you honor, dearest one, that you took action, to put yourself in the vulnerability seat of learning and understanding, and how do I do this? And I want just to relax. Just please relax, because we're just human. We don't have to be anybody but ourselves. We really don't. You know what we have to do is www in front of that. I made a mistake. So take it down.
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
so sorry.
It's okay. You just let me change it.
www.actions. It won't link up.
Yeah, okay. I'll just do it. www.
Arbor Day.
Actually, it's my fault.
No, it's mine.
No, because I'm the host, so I should take the responsibility because I should type it myself. This is I put the comma.
It's
No
okay.
problem.
It's a dot.
People
Everybody
are
will know.
intelligent. Yeah,
It's a dot.
people are intelligent and they know.
Yeah, so please join us. We're coming up on the hour at 3 o'clock, a half hour. Okay, it's we're 12 hours behind you in California, and I just thank you so much for inviting me. It's so kind.
Thank you so much for
So
your
kind.
time. For your time.
It's really
Thank you so much.
kind.
I'll let you go. I know you're busy.
Thank
and,
you.
Take care of yourself. So this was Aza Soferview show inspired by Rehan Alawala. Is that Pringles?
Let's go peace. It's a
Let's go
peace bird.
You know what? It's the sideways. It was looking like a crisp. Pringle chips, Pringle crisp.
Oh, that's so
was-
funny.
Yeah, and on
Pringles
the screen,
aren't. It's a bird. It's a peace
It's a
bird.
bird. Wow, it's a bird. Now I can see it. Wow. Oh yeah, that's your icon.
My daughter
right?
made it.
Yeah. That's
And,
nice. That's nice. Very beautiful. Your daughter made it.
Build relationships. It's your most impactful thing that you could do is build relationships. Your relationships mean everything in business, in community, in connection, in deeper levels of relationships. So build relationships. Try not to hurt relationships. And I appreciate so much, dear. Blessings. Please come and see us on Actions of Impact / Arbor Day. The Actions of Impact groups are doing tremendous amount of work. We have an art show in June. So any artist that's watching, we're inviting. In July, on my birthday and Taqwa Ahmed's birthday, July 16th, we're going to do a theologian day because Taqwa Ahmed and Haji Khan Faroch have celebrated, the three of us, for peace for the last 3 years. So we've ridden our bikes on that day for peace, and really understand that this idea of relating to each other is about opening your heart. There's nothing greater than opening your heart. So open your heart to each other and love one another. Simple. The torch mission is simple actions for global change. Okay, so thank you for your action, Abbas. Beautiful. I can't hear you. Sorry, I can't hear you.
Thank you so much for your time, ma'am. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Allah
And see you
Hafiz.
later. Allah Hafiz. Take care. Jazakallah. Allah Hafiz. Take care. Bye-bye. And take good care of yourself.
Thank you.
And please do come back when I
Thank
call
you.
you and give us your time again.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Take
Blessings.
care. See you.